Oh boy, but here we go, our final series of the night. Unfortunately, Terran and Zerg are no longer with us. It is only Protoss. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall ESL. Oh my god, for the first time in the entire qualifier, we are on this map. We have the South Korean Protoss player. He is red, representing Team NV. It is NightMare.
And in the top right corner of Waterfall ESL, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Good Game Gaming. GGG! It is nice.
Here we go. It all comes down to this. One PvP to rule them all. One of these players is going to be a part of TeamLiquid StarLeague number 9. Which will it be? So far, pretty standard openers here. We are on Waterfall. For those who don't know, this is the shortest rush distance map in the entire map pool. It's insane. It's crazy. It's been compared to Beckett Industries in the past. If you're aware of Beckett, a couple of seasons ago, a couple of years ago now, actually.
No.
It was insane.
I didn't realize it's been this long.
Was Beckett before or after Submarine?
After.
After, okay. The season after.
100% after.
Okay. Oh god. But yeah. Here we go. So far, because of the ramps, both players are looking to go for a little bit more of an economic opener. They both go for gateway expands, but we'll see if they actually do end up expanding, because they're both doing a decent job at just delaying that natural and being as annoying as possible.
Yes, indeed. Oh boy, it's been like a solid hour since we last casted PvP. let's see how it goes this time.
Oh boy, we shall see. Well, hopefully it can all come back to us. So far, again, nothing too crazy going on. We did see a second gateway thrown down here by Nice, so he's going to be the aggressor here. He's chronoing out both of his stalkers, so he wants to zoom across the map and maybe even try and deny or take down this pylon. As a response, we do see that NightMare is fully aware of that, so he already starts a shield battery.
Yeah, and he goes for a Stargate as well. Meanwhile, shout out to Sirius Black, who says in the chat, I wonder if this is going to be a nice game. Or a nightmare.
Aye, not like this, puppy, not like this.
I told you this was coming.
Oh god. Meanwhile, here we go. Speaking of coming, Nice is here across map with the stalkers. But again, because this was all scouted by NightMare, we already have a shield battery. We don't have an overcharge, so there is a finite amount of energy on this shield battery, but we have the high ground, and Nice does not come out ahead in that trade.
Yeah, he does not, but he's the one who has quicker Twilight Council, it looks like, so there is potential for some upgrades there.
Yeah,
but...
this... You want?
No, well, I was just gonna say, at the same time, like, NightMare is getting that Oracle ready.
I love what's going on right now, by the way. So, if you don't know, NightMare has a pylon in the natural base of Nice. So right now, for all he knows, it's a one base all-in. It is 100% a one base all-in. We have a second shield battery on the way as well. But Nice is just taking, in a PvP, the unnatural natural.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. I would be a bit afraid that Oracle may spot it, but it actually goes around to the north, so it's not gonna see it.
Yeah, so again, for a long time here, NightMare is going to be in the dark, but he feels confident enough to move out across the map. He's gonna check and confirm and be like, hold on, you have expanded, haven't you? Hasn't seen it yet, but now will.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something is suspicious there, and now he confirmed that third base. And I mean, he will try to do as much damage as he can with the Stalkers.
Nice is not in position. He was looking to try and catch the Oracle, which means his third base is exposed. The pylon will go down. A lot of damage is going to be dealt to this third base. At the same time, the Oracle does dive into the main base. Nice trying to split up his army as best he can, and it looks like he doesn't have enough Stalkers here at the third.
Yeah, he tried to split his army, and 6 probes already falling down, and this fight is... it's being hard won, if at all.
Oh my god, here we go. 2 more Stalkers are going to join the fray here for NightMare. NightMare also has the high ground as well. So again, he does out-trade Nice. At the same time, Adepts gets into the main, and there's no shield battery. Oh.
There is no shield battery. The Stalkers moved back trying to defend the front, and this Adept took more and more probes.
Yeah, NightMare is just pulling Nice apart right now with Oracles, with Adepts, with Stalkers. He dealt 13 probes worth of damage, was able to kill some pylons as well. Nice does hold on to his natural base, but at what cost?
Yeah, at what cost? He's 10 probes behind NightMare, and he did defend this attack eventually, and he's gonna move for a counter attack now, but there's a nice setup from NightMare already.
Yeah, earlier we had 2 shield batteries and they finished, and because of that there's no way for Nice to push up this ramp. What's important though is that Nice does have Blink, so he has the option to bypass all these defenses and maybe blink into the main base. Ugh, as he still tries to brute force his way through the natural, and GG gets called.
Yeah, NightMare will take game number 1.
Wow. Very solid, very decisive play there by NightMare. Is going to take that first game. Again, just completely pulling Nice apart. Nice was trying to, like, again, mind game his opponent a little bit by, like, expanding in a weird place and trying to force an overreaction, but NightMare was having none of it.
Yeah, indeed. NightMare saw right through it and was like, hold on, this base doesn't look quite right, and he knew just the right response to sort this out.
Oh yeah, he really did. Oof. And yeah, with that, we are now going to be moving into game number 2. Obviously, we have a 1-0 lead here for NightMare, but it's still best of 5, still plenty of games to be had, still plenty of opportunities to make this more of a back and forth series.
Yeah, I feel like it's an important thing to keep in mind that there is no advantage from an upper bracket, so this will be a full best of 5 being played here.
Oh yeah, that's a very unique thing in regards to TSL. I know a lot of people are used to, if there is a double elimination format, that one player either has an advantage or maybe they play like 2 series if the player from the lower bracket wins. But no, here it's just a regular best of 5.
Indeed, and we are about to be loaded into game 2 of our series, which will be on Cosmic Sapphire, ESL.
Oh boy. Here we go.
And looking at the top left corner of our map, we have the Red Protoss, representing South Korea and Team NV, currently up 1 in this series. It is NightMare.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player himself, representing Good Game Gaming. GGG. It is Nice. Oh boy.
So what is it gonna be? Will there be a boop?
Well, already we see something very interesting going on, as we do see a bit between the probes, but Nice is being a little bit greedy here, as despite the fact that there is no ramp, he does go for the low ground wall.
Yeah, I mean, we do know that there is this choke point is fairly narrow, so it's easier to wall off. So I guess it makes sense that you would go for the low ground wall, but it's still a bit more tricky than just going for the one under ramp.
Yeah, you don't have that high ground advantage, but you do have the advantage of, you know, being efficient with that wall and being able to keep things hidden. It looks like he isn't going for a gate expand or anything incredibly greedy like that. It's still the same opener from both players, just different positioning of the buildings.
Yes, indeed. But, you know, we'll see if that will be to his advantage in the later stages of the game, as so far both players are just following up, just progressing in their builds. Nothing too out of ordinary.
Yeah, everything's looking pretty standard so far. There's a lot that you can do on this map. We've seen that it can sometimes lead to more macro games, or you can be a little bit cheesy with some proxies. We have the gold base as well. Again, I was talking to Asher about this, but I do enjoy that even some of the more standard maps have something a little bit different about them.
Yeah, that's very interesting, like, you know, because there's a thing, like, every time there's like a very quirky map, like, just gets vetoed to hell and like nobody wants to play on it, and then like there's a very standard map and it's like, you know, it's great for players, but it's also like a bit boring to watch. So like, it's good to have a mix Like, if you can achieve a mix of both, like that's very nice.
Yeah, and that's what we have here in the new map pool. Meanwhile, a bit of an interesting diversion here. We do see NightMare opening up with double adept, but he does get scouted by Nice and his probe. So Nice is already getting ready with his own stalkers. He's getting ready to fully wall off as well here on the low ground.
Indeed, and Nice is following this up once again with a Stargate.
Oh, I love this. The probe is pulling the stalker out of position. Now the adepts are rolling on in, but Nice is being safe anyway. He knows that he's a little bit vulnerable and he walls off preemptively.
Yeah, and there were 2 stalkers just coming out as well, so they were just in time to protect the base from these adepts, and they have to be recalled.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, to see 2 probes going down, it looks like a couple of units were able to get across the map as well from the side of Nice in the midst of all of that. So, yeah, pretty interesting openers so far. Oracle going to be on the way from Nice as well.
Yes, indeed, as he's moving these stalkers to the other side of the map as well, he may catch this adept.
Yeah, one adept is going to go down, and Nice does have the stalker advantage. He recognizes that, he dives on top of this immediately, and one more stalker is going to go down.
Yeah, the shield battery is not ready. The sentries are here to help, and they're gonna push some force speed, but they're gonna get sniped.
Yeah, very nice pickups here. Can he get a second sentry in the end? One more shot, and he will get both sentries. Well worth it here for those stalkers.
Yeah, some very nice pickups from Nice, and this is not the end of his aggression, as the Oracle is now ready, and another one is following up as well.
Oh, exactly. We see NightMare is trying to get in position. He doesn't have a shield battery, so he wasn't that safe. He's relying a lot more on his DPS to zone away this Oracle, and it looks like with his 3 stalkers, he will immediately force it back.
I like how he turned on the beam. I was like, yeah, no, never mind.
It was real quick.
Yeah, it was a very quick switch.
Aye. And after all said and done, the worker counts are relatively even. NightMare does have a much faster timing for his blink, though.
Yes, indeed. The Twilight Council of Nice is only just finished. Oh, an adept almost gets in.
Yeah, actually goes for the natural base instead, already getting 2 more of these workers. Unfortunately, the adepts had already sustained a lot of hits, but 2 probes, again, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. And both our players are going for Blink after that, so I guess we will see some more Stalker Wars. But
yeah.
NightMare is already getting his robo.
Yeah, I'm curious how aggressive he's going to be. At the moment, we only have 2 gates, so there's not really much you can do with 2 gates. If we see a 3rd or even a 4th, and alongside a War Prism, then that's going to be insane. And I imagine that's what we may see, because we do have fast blink. I feel like going into Immortal production would be a little bit odd here for the player who does have the more mobile army.
And NightMare actually gets to set up his 3rd base. These oracles do scout it, but they can't really do much about it. They try to deny it, but not in time. So it looks like NightMare will have a bit of an economic advantage.
Oh yeah, bit of an economic advantage. Meanwhile, 2 more probes to end up going down. And yeah, these are the gateways that I was waiting for. 2 more gateways here, and NightMare, I thought he was maybe going to try and hit a more crisper timing with his blink, but no, instead just kind of chilling, just making sure he's safe and sound, taking his 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get like a proper macro game for once, huh?
Yeah.
Where like players are actually gonna build up for late game.
It's not something that we're used to here between these players, especially in the Korean region. Like, typically PvPs are a lot more high octane, high velocity, just in your face, out of control. But this one's just a little bit more lax.
I mean, Cosmic Sapphire is not a small map, so I guess you have a lot of space for that, and the players are gonna use this space, it looks like.
Oh yeah. And here we go. Nice, gonna try and go for a little bit of multi-player. I'm gonna try and divert the attention of NightMare here towards the 3rd base. At the same time, double Oracle goes into the main.
Yeah, and the Stalkers are only now getting warped in, so 2 more probes fall down, but only 2 probes, and Nice is not winning the fight in the 3rd either.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I felt like maybe a little bit more damage could have been dealt there. It felt like NightMare wasn't really ready for those Oracles, but Nice, he will back off anyway. Wants to be safe with his Oracles, and oh, he has to be careful.
Yeah, he gets Revelation on the Stalkers instead, and he rotates to the main, but there are Stalkers there as well.
Yeah, and from here, again, both players are just working on their mass gate armies. We have charge on the way, +1 for both players as well. Both kind of mirroring each other. But because of all that harassment, Nice is ahead in the workers, due to the adepts, due to the oracles.
Yes, indeed. Both players are getting charged and +1 at exactly the same point, so that will come into play soon enough. But for now, we have the Stalkers fighting at the shield battery.
Yeah, again, just another big distraction here. Nice doesn't really want to commit to a fight. At the same time, Oracles dive in, but this time NightMare is ready and he will snipe one Oracle.
One of the Oracles falls down. The Stalkers are still there, and that single Oracle will have to go back home. As both players are getting the Warp Prism now, and it looks like we're soon gonna have some Zealot reinforcements.
Yeah, these are exact mirrors. They both go for their own gateway explosions. They're both going for their warp prisms. They're both getting, their upgrades at around the same time as well. Ooh, a bit of a better fight here for Nice. Does focus down a decent amount of these Stalkers. Ooh, did I speak too soon?
And it looks like NightMare now has enough to overpower this army, and he's actually gonna chase it all the way to the other side of the map.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But he has to be careful not to hit an anti-timing because Nice's +1 is going to finish faster than that of NightMare.
Yeah, and it looks like the Stalkers are actually trapped here as there was splitting forward and the reinforcements of Nice are here, but actually NightMare might just have enough.
Yeah, I don't know if that was worth it for Nice because I don't know if you noticed, but he did end up losing his Warp Prism as a result when he just dove on that army. And without that Warp Prism, he cannot be aggressive. We already see an Immortal in the way, so he's looking to try and defend his third base instead. Now he can't be as active on the map.
I mean, he's still aggressive with these blinks going right into the enemy army, and now there's a Warp Piece for NightMare to reinforce as well. Oh, this doesn't look good for Nice.
It doesn't, but the Overcharge is going to be able to buy a little bit of time here for Nice. NightMare has to respect it. He will back off. He looks like he wants to rotate around instead, and this is buying enough time for Immortals to come out for Nice. So he's going to have a little bit of a better position, a little bit of a better army, but he doesn't have the numbers.
By the way, Nice is getting a fourth at the same time as he's being attacked, and there's another wave coming from NightMare with a lot more charge loss now.
Yeah, exactly. The Chargers, they close the distance, they dive on top of the Immortals and the Stalkers, and NightMare, he's just overwhelming the defenses of Nice. Nice, sure, he was taking a fourth base, but he cancels. He knows he needs more money, and it's just not enough.
And NightMare takes game number 2.
GG?
Currently on match point.
Yeah, very well done there by NightMare. Again, like a relatively passive game. We did see him struggle a little bit when it came to defending his mineral lines, and he was taking a lot of losses there. But we saw that maybe Nice took one fight a little bit too poorly. We saw like some pretty aggressive moves and aggressive blinks, and after he lost a couple of Stalkers, like it did kind of snowball from there.
Yeah, indeed. Hold on, I'm just trying to set something up.
Okay, well with that, we are now getting into game number 3. NightMare 1 game away from qualifying to TSL.
Yeah, indeed. Very, very close.
Oh yeah, meanwhile Nice, I mean, again, he's no pushover. He's a great player in his own right, and personally, I'm going to be surprised if he gets 3-0'd. Like, earlier today, we were lucky enough to cast a series between Nice and NightMare, and it went all the way to the ace match, and even then, it was really close in game 3. So, yeah, this is so far a little bit shocking of a result, and hopefully it doesn't end here and now.
Yeah, I mean, Nice has been playing pretty great this evening, so hopefully he will be able to, like, get a point on the board, right?
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We'll see if he can do so in the end. Oh, for now, you can hear the beeps. We are loading into game number 3. Potentially the final game of the night.
Yes, indeed. And the game number 3 will be played on Inside and Out. As we are now loading in. And we are in the top right corner of the map. Looking at the player in the red. Our Protoss player representing South Korea and Team NV. Currently on match point of this series and the whole qualifier. It is NightMare.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out ESL, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player himself, the best player in all of Taiwan, representing Good Game Gaming. GGG. It is Nice.
No proxies. We're playing standard.
Yeah, for the most part, standard from Nice here, going for that low ground placement of the gateways. pretty surprising that NightMare, that Nice is playing as conservative as he is.
I mean, to be fair, like he is down 2-0, so like he wants to be extra careful, right?
Yeah, and he goes for that 2-gate opening here, so looking to be a little bit more aggressive. Meanwhile, giving NightMare the opportunity to be greedy if he wanted to. I mean, he did see the opener, so the likelihood of going into a fast Nexus, it doesn't seem very high. It seems maybe a little bit scary to do so.
Yeah, but he just goes for that regular core then. And he is scouting carefully, actually, making sure there are no proxies from Nice.
Exactly. Even a proxy gateway would be devastating here for NightMare because we would just see nothing but stalkers rushing across the map. NightMare even looking to make that Zealot. We'll see if he cancels it. Again, ideally, the Zealot is only necessary to make sure you are able to expand. But NightMare, there we go, respecting the opener, throws down another gateway.
Yeah, they're very, very nicely done. It will also help with the warpings and everything. And let's see what the plan is from here. So far, both our players going for Stalkers.
Stalkers are going to be coming out here. Nice is going to have a little bit of a numbers advantage. But again, that's why it was important for NightMare to also throw down his own gateway. Still scouring the map, still looking for any kind of weird proxy. Even finish that Zealot just to run around.
Yeah, I mean, it may get useful, right? Like, even for scouting purposes. So, just to be extra safe, NightMare does have it. And let's see what Nice is planning.
Yeah, we'll see as he just continues to pump out more Stalkers. He's going for a Stargate behind this. With this large Stalker count, he can maybe force a fight across the map and maybe take it his way. As NightMare finally does decide to expand, he feels safe enough to do so.
Yeah, but that means that like Nice will be very much behind on the economy as his base is nowhere to be found, but I think he may be thinking about expanding soon.
Yeah, here we go. His own Nexus has been thrown down. He was banking up that 400 minerals. And we are going to be getting into a longer game. I was thinking, was there an opportunity, was there a chance that Nice would go for a one base all in? But no, it is not going to be the case.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going with this game. But actually, look, the probe is leading the charge as Nice's Stalkers are reaching the other side of the map.
Yeah, and honestly, they take a volley of those Stalker hits. The probe does end up falling in the end, and Nice still having a hard time breaking up this ramp with shield batteries, with force fields, with sentries. Yeah, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, actually loses a Stalker as well, so just overall not the greatest trade, and he does get that Oracle.
Yeah, the Oracle's going to be zooming across the map. NightMare quickly checking his vision. He wasn't able to see the tech of choice of Nice, but because he didn't see it, and because he knows he's ahead economically, he invests in a shield battery.
Yeah, so that single Oracle should not do anything. Also, at the same time, NightMare's Twilight Council is already done and researching Blink, while Nice's is only about to be finished.
Yeah, exactly. Not the biggest window, but a window nonetheless, as the Oracle activates its Pulsar Beam. Doesn't do any damage whatsoever. Again, these openers haven't really worked for it. Nice, but we'll commit to a Shade.
Yeah, one of the Shades actually reaches the base, but now it will be dealt with by these Stalkers and the Sentries as well.
Yeah, I found it a little bit odd that only one Adept committed to the Shade. I mean, maybe he just really wanted to scout, but I thought that's what the Oracle was for, so questionable move there by Nice.
Yeah, that happens. The Oracle is still there, circling around. I'm not sure it's gonna spot this move out. I mean, it does spot that the army is not here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Nice. What does he have to defend? He has one shield battery on the low ground. He doesn't really have much SimCity to work with right now. NightMare is ahead when it comes to the production. He did have that third gateway behind this. He's looking to push up this ramp, and he's going to get up the ramp.
Yeah, the shield battery is only halfway done. There's not a lot of Stalkers here. This may actually be it.
Yeah, exactly. 2 Stalkers go down immediately. We have force fields to just zone away. Oh my god, the Stalkers, they just can't fight here, and the shield battery goes down.
The shield battery gets focused. There is no more charging here, and the Adepts are even getting into the main.
Wow, probes are falling left and right in the main base and the natural. There are only 2 Stalkers to defend here. As a reminder, Nice only has 2 gateways for production, and that's nowhere near enough to defend against this.
And just like that, NightMare takes the series 3-0 and qualifies from TeamLiquid StarLeague 9.
GG, well played by NightMare. That was a really quirky game from Nice. It felt like he was going for the mind game win. It felt like he was trying to sell a story like, oh, you don't know if I'm going to expand or if I'm not going to expand. You don't know what I'm going to do. And NightMare didn't, but he just kind of called his bluff anyway. He was well ready for the early aggression from the Stalkers. He was ready for the Oracles as well. And more importantly, as you pointed out, Nice didn't see the army moving out.
Yeah, he did not notice it, but when he did, it was already too late, and he was not able to prepare the defenses. The shield battery was barely finished when the stalkers were already there, and it was instantly focused, so it didn't really help with the fight. And yeah, just things were just not going well for Nice in that series.
Yeah,
in that game specifically.
That was a rough series there for Nice, but congratulations to NightMare. He did prove himself to be the better player overall here in this tournament, and he will be moving on and he will be taking part in TSL. Honestly, really exciting, and honestly, we knew this was coming because, he also won Sparkling Tuna Cup last night, so, a little bit of foreshadowing to his form.
Yeah, we saw that he's a pretty good player, so
good,
no,
yeah.
But in all seriousness, NightMare definitely seems to be on the rise right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do think that a lot of people have noticed that NightMare, he qualifies for GSL and he's usually there, but he never makes any kind of big, deep run. He's kind of been at the middle or even the bottom of the pack when it comes to South Korean Protoss players. But it's cool to see him, getting some results here and there, actually putting points on the board, actually getting a little bit more notice from not just other players, but other people, other viewers, other casters. And yeah, it's cool to see him actually put all of that into results.
Yeah. And he's also a very, very impressive in his playstyle itself as well. So it's just really great to watch him get there and take this series.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oof. So with that, congratulations to NightMare. Again, massive shout out to not just Oli Moly for running this tournament, Shopify for sponsoring, Rotterdam, Crank. Actually, I don't think Crank was casting, but Rotterdam, Steadfast, Wardy, as they were here earlier in the day. Even Sub-Zero and Rush were casting in other languages. It was really cool to see them all be a part of this and take part, because I know it's not always at the best time for a lot of these people.
Yeah, it's great to see these qualifiers getting all the coverage. And this is one of the 3 last qualifiers for the TSL. We only have 2 more left. 2 more server qualifiers, one for Europe and one for Americas.
Yes. And as we typically do, we will not be covering the European qualifier here. We have to sleep at some point. I would like to sleep. We've been casting a lot. Recently, so we won't be covering the European qualifier, but we will be covering the Americas server qualifier.
Yes, and as a reminder, these are server qualifiers, which means anyone can play in them. They just played on the particular server.
Exactly. So we could be seeing some Koreans there. I'm looking forward to seeing Bunny. I really want Bunny to be there. Now that he's back on home ground, now that he's back on Korean soil, he's not in the air, he's not in Valencia, he has his PC, he can finally participate in these qualifiers. And I would love to see, again, some of those Koreans. Scarlet is another one. I believe she's currently living in South Korea, so she's going to be playing with Ping, which isn't ideal. But again, there is a chance there. There's a chance for her to make it through.
Yeah, definitely. There are still chances there, but only 2 of them.
Only 2. And with that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the raids as well that we received earlier. Babylings gave us a raid. Wellmu as well, the Finnish Protoss player. Thank you so much for the love and for the support.
Yeah, it's good to see everyone here and everyone enjoying these qualifiers with us. And the pants.
Yeah. Looks as if someone is asking if we're going to do OSC King of the Hill. We have casted OSC King of the Hill in the past when the event organizers have asked us to, but we have not been notified. And I mean, we probably wouldn't do a marathon cast anyway, because
yeah.
It's already been a long day. It's been a long day.
But as far as I know, the OSC King of the Hill changes casters depending on the date. So they organize with specific channels. So We cover it when we are contacted for it.
Yeah. Sometimes they have Steadfast. Sometimes Chicken Man would usually do it back in the day. Wardy would do it from time to time. It's whoever they have available for it. But with that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Kuro, some people were asking about you earlier. Nish was impressed by the sentient shirt that was talking. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, thank you. It took me a long time to learn to speak as a t-shirt, but I managed to do it. So yes, I'm the greatest casting jersey because I'm the only one. And normally I'm doing stuff on the CranKy Ducklings channel, like not necessarily casting, but I'm doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, like managing all the tournaments and like managing all the overlays and that kind of thing. So you can usually find me somewhere around CranKy Ducklings, like almost all the time.
Yes.
Other than that, together with Light, we also work on the StarCraft Esports unofficial Twitter channel and Twitter profile and Facebook as well. And as well as SC2 birthdays on Twitter. So there's a lot of like these smaller projects that we do as well. And just follow us around.
Yeah, follow us. There's a lot of projects that we work on. StarCraft Esports, SC2 birthdays, sign up list, CranKy Ducklings. And even in CranKy Ducklings there's a lot going on as well. We've kind of been a part of the StarCraft scene for many years now. I think 2014, as early as 2014, maybe even before that. Just doing our part behind the scenes. But now we've kind of taken the forefront here. We've kind of made ourselves a little bit more public with the CranKy Ducklings, and we're doing as much as we can, as best we can, for the StarCraft community. And I hope everyone has enjoyed it, has enjoyed the casting, has enjoyed the content. Shout out to Sirius Black for resubbing earlier, for example. Thank you. If you want to support us even further, we have a Patreon, and of course through Twitch. All the money that we make here, it goes back towards the tournaments that we run and our salaried pro team as well. We would love to expand our pro team. We have our eyes on certain players, but that all depends on how much we can make here on our Twitch channel. And just know that it all goes somewhere, and it all goes in some way back to StarCraft. So thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Meanwhile, if you're interested in some of my content, I do stream over on my own Twitch channel, light_VIP, where I tried a ladder. Today I had a really rough ladder session. I think I lost like 90% of my games. We had fun on stream, but we had a rough time. Actually ended the stream just before we went live here on the CranKy Ducklings. I was a little bit worried that my mood would affect the cast. Thankfully it didn't. Thankfully the games were good enough, especially with Quanta to begin with, that spirits were lifted again. We got to do
your energy to Light.
Send
your energy to Light, as he will need your support in his ladder adventures. That said, his ladder adventures, even when he doesn't win the games, like it's still a fun stream, so I do recommend it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But if you're only interested in our casting, then !socials in the chat, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We are all over the place on all the social media platforms. If you want to tune into some of our casting but you can't tune in live, then check out our YouTube channel. We have all of our VODs uploaded there in a timely fashion after a couple of days or a week at most. Check us out on YouTube. Everything will be there. Check our VODs on Twitch. Everything's there as well. And thank you so much for watching. Our next broadcast is going to be in less than 24 hours. It is going to be Sea Duckling Open, number
117.
117. That's a lot of ducklings.
that is a lot of ducklings.
Sea Duckling Open is a diamond tournament, bronze to diamond tournament that we have been running ever since 2017. Very long-standing tournament. That's how we started. That was the first tournament series that we ever began here in the CranKy Ducklings, and it's just a way to incentivize, amateur players, diamond players, platinum players, gold players to compete, play, and improve as players. I think something that some people may not know, but a couple of years ago, there are players that are now pro that played in Sea Duckling Open. It's really cool to see players like Oreo, Starduck, Mixu, Ruichi, you know, from various regions, you know, all start off as diamonds, and we saw over the years, we saw them grow, eventually become masters, join our master tournaments, and eventually get to that GM level, get to that pro level as well, or semi-pro, then to pro. Yeah, it's been really cool to see our initiative actually bear some fruit. It's not like everyone becomes GMs, not at all, but it's about like finding those diamonds in the rough and giving players motivation to get better.
Yeah, essentially this is what it is. Like when you have that like regular competition, like you have something to strive for, right? Because while like, you know, you can play in like these open tournaments, but like it's good to also have like some rivals at your own level as well, so like you can motivate each other. And so like these like small amateur tournaments, they're actually very important to like build up the scene from the bottom.
Yeah, it's been really cool. It's been really cool. Like, again, just to see, it's not that many players, but like you know, you're a handful of players, you know, end up going all the way. And even before that, plenty of players that just go from diamond to masters, you know, and find success there as well, and settle there and enjoy themselves. But with that, thank you so much everyone for watching. Thank you so much for all the support. We'll see you again tomorrow for Sea Duckling Open, and until then, adios.
Bye.